On October 3, 2022, a Mahan Air aircraft was flying from Tehran to Guangzhou in China, when it received a bomb threat, while overflying within the Indian airspace. The Mahan Air flight pilot immediately contacted the Delhi Airport Air Traffic Control and requested for permission for an immediate landing at Delhi. The aircraft was offered an option to land at Jaipur and then at Chandigarh, but the pilot declared his unwillingness to divert to either of them. After a while, intimation was received from Tehran to disregard the bomb scare. The flight thereafter continued on its onward journey towards final destination. The Indian Air Force Sukhoi fighter jets were scrambled to intercept the Iranian aircraft. The IAF jets followed the aircraft at a safe distance, and during its time within the Indian airspace, the aircraft was kept under close radar surveillance by the Air Force. According to an Indian Air Force statement, all actions were taken as per the laid-down procedure, jointly with the Ministry of Civil Aviation and Bureau of Civil Aviation Security.
Keep watching this episode for a minute-by-minute account of this incident. All the graphics and flight progress information has been taken from Flight Radar 24 and other media reports.
Sorry to interrupt this video. Please stand by for a short message. If you like this video, take a moment and please like and subscribe to this channel. We put in a lot of effort to research data that supports all our episodes. Remember, the news is just an opinion, it's data that counts. Thank you for watching.
Mahan Air was established as the first Iranian private airline in transportation industry for handling passenger and freight services in 1992. In 2019, and before the outbreak of coronavirus, Mahan Air had an average of 100 daily flights, 65% on domestic and 35% on international flights. At 0:45 UTC, on 3 October 2022, the airport controller at Iran's Imam Khomeini International Airport gives the final takeoff clearance to Flight W581. This was a Mahan Air scheduled service flying from Tehran to Guangzhou in China. The Imam Khomeini International Airport, Tehran has 2 runways but only one being operational. Flight W581 was assigned to depart from runway 29R in a westerly direction. On October 3, the aircraft bearing registration number EPMMR was assigned to Flight W581. This aircraft was a 17-year-old Airbus 340-600 aircraft. The maximum range of the Airbus 340 is 14,600 kilometers. The aircraft was configured to carry 308 passengers, 263 in economy class and 45 in business class. Though Flight W581 is a daily service between Tehran and Guangzhou, it has been irregular of late. The track data from the flight tracking site Flight Radar 24 is missing for several days after September 12. Additionally, the flight does not have a great record of being punctual. On October 3, the flight started 30 minutes behind its scheduled departure time. After taking off on runway 29R, the flight made an U-turn to set course to its destination. The shortest distance between Tehran and Guangzhou is a great circle arc over flying Afghanistan, Kashmir in India and then over the northern Himalayas. This distance is 6,079 kilometers. However, airlines avoid flying over the Himalayas due to several technical reasons. Therefore, though slightly longer, pilots on this route commonly fly over Afghanistan, Pakistan and then over the Indian cities of Delhi, Patna and then onwards to Dhaka. The distance on this route is 6,322 km, which is longer by about 300 km. Flight W581 on October 3 was flying on this route. In this figure you see the actual flight path of this flight. At around 3:15 UTC or 845 IST flight W581 enters the Indian airspace. The entry point in India is 100 km west of Bikaner in Rajasthan. The flight is on its normal easterly course, flying at 35,000 feet and at a speed of 538 knots, which translates to 996 km per hour. At this point a few questions arise. Firstly, how did the pilot come to know that there was bomb on board? From media reports it is apparent that the pilot of flight W581 informed the Delhi ATC. So, the pilot must have got this information while in flight. We are presuming that the pilot was made aware of the bomb threat while in Indian airspace. Just 15 minutes prior to reporting to the ATC, the aircraft was in Pakistani airspace. Or was it a person or a threat on board? Only an investigation will provide answers. As there is no information of any passenger being detained on arrival of the flight in Guangzhou, we presume that there was no threat on board. Most likely, the pilots must have been informed through a system known as Aircraft Communications Addressing and Reporting System, or ACARS. In aviation, ACARS is a digital data link system for transmission of short messages between aircraft and ground stations via airband radio or satellite. Air companies often communicate with airborne aircraft using this mode of communications. At 3:35 UTC, or 9:05 AM India time, the flight W581 diverted from its flight path. At that time, the aircraft was about 20 km west of Pilani in Rajasthan. It appears that Delhi ATC has asked the pilot to maintain a holding pattern around Pilani. 3 minutes later, at 3:38 UTC, the flight initiated a descent. The most probable reason was to get the aircraft out of the way of other overflying aircraft, as this are an extremely busy route for flights going from Dubai towards Southeast Asia. For the next 30 minutes, flight W581 kept circling over Pilani at an altitude of 28,000 feet. Presumably, this is the period when the pilot was negotiating with the Delhi ATC for permission to land at Delhi. It becomes very apparent why the aircraft was not permitted to land at Delhi Airport. Here is a short playback clip of the air traffic at Delhi Airport that day. This was the morning peak hour when the incoming traffic at Delhi is very high. Had flight W581 been permitted to land at Delhi, there would have been a major chaos leading to inordinate flight delays and cancellations. The Delhi ATC was correct in its decision to ask the pilot to proceed to Jaipur or Chandigarh that have far lesser air traffic. The flight left the first holding pattern and proceeded eastwards towards Rewari in Haryana. However, two things are to be noted. Firstly, the flight continued its descent and came down to 21,000 feet. Secondly, at 4:13 UTC, it entered another holding pattern over Kanina, north of Mahendragar. Flight W581 finally came out of the second hold after 6 minutes, that is at 4:19 UTC. One can only presume that during the second hold, the captain may have received information from Tehran to disregard the bomb scare threat and proceed on its normal course. At 4:32 UTC, the flight reached its cruising altitude of 33,000 feet while passing between Aligarh and Hathras in UP. The remaining part of flight W581 was uneventful and finally landed safely at Guangzhou at 8:50 UTC. All passengers and crew arrived safely at their destination. The 60 minutes of suspense and drama had ended. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. You can see more such informative videos in the suggested video links being shown here. Thank you for watching.